Alrighty, we're back. Welcome back to another Dangarompalapse video. Obviously, we're playing this again right after the trial. So if you missed the trial and you want to see who died so far, go back and watch the previous videos. I don't know why you wouldn't watch previous videos before you watch this one, considering this is a series, unless you're just jumping to a random video and trying to see if I'm good, in which case, hi, nice to meet you. A deep, pulsing darkness filled every crevice and fold, bleeding through razor-thin cracks, drifting unevenly between a nauseous black sea and stiffening disputed vacuum. Obstinately murmured and bubbled beneath the heavy velvet plow. Competing vibrations through the void pounded and shocked the air with stiff, rich chord. The signal hum echoed, threatened to break the eclipse shadow. Echo? Echo. Echo! Ow! Oh, my eyes in a swift sea, sharp pain struck my face. Hey, what gives? Missy was standing over me, her hand poisoned in a way that suggested she was the one who firmly woke. I'm sorry, Echo, but I had to wake you. I shook you, but you didn't react, so... I blinked several times as I rubbed to my left cheek, my vision adjusting to the surroundings. It seems that I was either Missy or Ashley's personal room. I sat up on the bed to see Ashley sitting at the foot of the bed just in front of me. Missy was on the left in the spare chair. Ashley, Missy, what happened? Well, for starters, it is around 9:15 p.m. You seem to have passed out after the trial earlier this evening. Ashley and I were concerned, so we've been monitoring you to make sure you were safe. However, I was worried. You stopped breathing in your sleep. I stopped breathing? I can't believe you leaving us so shortly after we lost two other friends. I hope that your newfound ultimate title of Ultimate Memory does not begin to fail you soon. I forgot about that. So is that like our actual title? Are we literally just Ultimate Memory? Where's Echo? That's Echo. Okay, we don't fully know yet. I don't fully know. Ultimate Memory. Okay. That's right. Just yesterday, I thought I was an ordinary student with no extreme talent or skills, and yet, in the courtroom, a revelation came to light, and I was given the unique title of Ultimate Memory. But whatever that entailed, I wasn't too thrilled, because despite that revolution, it wasn't the strangest thing to occur. Oh, I miss those two. I bit back my words in tears thinking about Pandora and Art. The truth was hard to swallow. Throughout the trial, many of us struggled to find footing in the discussion. None of us wanted to believe any of it. The murder. And following it, the execution. The three of us sat silent, haunted by the dark happenings of the courtroom. I low-key suddenly at the other two. Missy and Ashley's face told a tapsy tale of remorse and distress. Well, that's... What's important is that you're alright now, Echo. Yeah, thank you too. I'm relieved. Ashley's voice was a whisper for the first word trapped than this. We exchanged few words, but we knew from emotions already heavy in weight. Missy's breath as tense sigh, just the other. Missy was composed by now. A voiceless iron courage hung over us. There were so many things to address, but fear choked our dialogue. I looked up to meet Ashley's tearful gaze, and looking just past her, I saw something bright sitting on the cabinet in the corner of her personal room. It was a helmet. Ash?
What is it, Echo?
That helmet over there. When we first met, I remember you saying you didn't have any personal possessions, but... yeah, I didn't mention it on the first day. I didn't want to talk about it then. Sorry, you don't have to. No, I think it should be brought up. Ashley's face sunk. She turned into the face, cobalt blue eye. I'm sure you can recall what I told you about the personal helmet this belongs to. I nodded gently and Ashley sighed deeply. Missy was quite politely listen. I got in my fight with a friend, another ultimate student, Sylvia Powers, race car driver. That fight was about my preservation project we're involved with now. The project was a low whisper among ultimate students' words was that we were offered the state-of-the-art living and protection. Seeing our other talent would be a great benefit. As soon as I received my offer to join, I couldn't say no. I asked Sylvia if she had accepted as well, but Sylvia declined, willingly disagreeing with the offer. He doubted the value of a private group that only existed in the hopes of protecting strangers. But what position was I to deny safety when it had been offered so graciously? With our different opinions on the matter coming to a clash, he eventually gave up on me entirely. Yet again, his wishes, I made attempts to get his name in. And look where we are now. Ashley began to tear up and buried her head in her hands. I'm such an idiot. Her voice trembled. Ashley, you are not an idiot. You cared about a friend's well-being. I was foolish for thinking the killing game would go away if I removed Echo from being involved with my troubles. Being involved with ultimate students only led to ultimate levels of trouble, but I was wrong for thinking I could strangely trust on my own. Ashley looked at me with pleading eyes. They were filled deeply with sorrow and regret. I'm sorry, Echo. I realize now that there's more importance than ever that we're stick together. She grasped my hand firmly, but her own hands were shaking from fear. It was only natural. I felt a tear from my face onto the back of Ashley's hand. Missy's voice slipped in. Why don't we go get something from the dining hall to unwind? Everyone seems rather tense, and I think this could help us a bit distressed. Huh? How could you think of getting a snack at a time like this? Or my voice cried in desperation. Pandora and Art's lives were just taken away. I'm sorry, but I don't think of what your sound mind right now. That's right. We shouldn't waste our time doing nothing. Then what do you suggest we do? We need to escape. Missy, you're the ultimate technician. I'm begging you. Come up with something. Anything. Any sort of plan to get us out of here. What's the point of ultimate talents if we can't do anything with them? Missy flinched. She looked away, attempting to hide her reaction. I realized what I just said. I'm sorry. I went too far. Echo, it's fine. However, Missy's words betrayed her emotions. She must have felt tense after everything as well, but she tried to retain her composition nonetheless. I let out a deep sigh. I'm sorry for losing my temper. You're right, a snack could help clear my head. Missy. Missy's expression eased, but she said nothing. Rather, she slowly got up and offered a hand to me. She helped me out of bed and quietly made our way to the dining hall. The halls were quiet and even sound like we were dragged underneath the shadows of the evening lighting. My guess, okay. Obviously, from the way things are going, someone definitely is dying every day. So the question isn't, oh, is someone dying today? The question is, what time is someone dying? I feel like that's drastically going to change, because now we're going to feel rushed to people are going to feel rushed to kill, which in return probably will make the trials easier, because it's more going to be like blind, like, oh, fuck, no one's doing anything, I want to live, I should try something. In the dining hall, we saw Forte sitting in his lonesome. Evening, folks. Forte's voice was low, mumbling, his posture stone. He sat with his hands clapped on the desk, resting just before the dining table centerpiece, Pandora's basket of pastries. Missy's idea to get a snack was quickly dashed when we met the moments of Pandora. My stomach twisted. Are you alright, Forte? The answer was painted on his face. No one was the sound mind after what we just witnessed. Even though he didn't answer outright, the question almost gave him a bit of comfort. Indeed, it will be a while yet for me to come to terms proper, but Teshnor es Hansa apres uncute. I know I said that wrong. Always rise after a fall. Always rise. Pain existed so we can grow and learn from it. What will we do with this feeling of misfortune and what will motivate us to move forward? We learn tragically and grow forward. It's all we really can do. I must imagine art was distress. Regardless, its generous fixing being driven into a compilation corner like that would make anyone miserable. After being here now with our friends, Missy and Ashley, as well as the others, should teach us that we have friends all around us who would feel extinguished without one another. Alas, it is hard to think clearly when your mind is clouded by despair. I feel terrible for art, swirling emotions, pushed too far. I wish to make it known that I care for you all deeply. Forte's melancholic voice strung in my heart. Missy and Ashley themselves had a wasteful look in their eyes as they nodded. As we hardly knew each other, but I could feel the bond of our adversity bringing us closer together. Our camaraderie knit together by taut string of fear. If I may, as a prestigation, I serve no one travel alone. It's too dangerous to be without a witness in the event something were to happen. It's not though I wish to be entertainment, but such steps be necessary for going to the front fort of the killing game unprospectively. I agree, and not only that, Cyrus' intense behavior could pose a potential problem. Huh? What happened with Cyrus? Well, after the trial, you called what Zero said, right? Yeah. Cyrus is someone to be wary of. Ultimate charisma is a terrible cover talent. After you collapsed, he started acting suspiciously. Seems I've gathered some distrust among you all, thanks to the lousy Zero. Yeah. Cyrus, what is Zero talking about? There's no use hiding it. I think a correction is inappropriate. Cyrus, ultimate conventional information for the preservation project. You're with the preservation project? Of course. I rallied you all here after all. So what is this facade in the game too, after all? You think you could keep us the Neasley all the way through? That's for me to know. And all you need to know is that you were doomed from the moment you set foot here. Wait, so is Cyrus the antagonist? I thought it was gonna be Lyle, but now thinking about it, I don't think it's Lyle. I know for a fact, nothing you do will save you from this game. And then he creeped out of the courtroom, leaving us all confused to say the least. After that, Missy and I rushed to my room so he could get rest. Staying cabin has been evening. I don't know where Lyle is farming, but he's most likely in a similar state. They returned to their rooms as far as I know. However, if anyone would like to explore to find a partner to keep yourself safe, I cannot guarantee everyone's safety, nor I can force everyone to follow my lead. But I hope you know I wish for everyone's safety. Missy was strange. She wished to protect everyone, but it was difficult since none of us knew what could happen next. I'm awfully curious about something, though. As we returned to the floor in the courtroom, I noticed that there was a button on the third floor in the elevator. Third floor? I saw that too, Missy. Did you want to investigate the third floor? It's late, but I didn't want to make a brief round to see what's in store for us. I'll come with you. Echo, did you want to go back to your room for some proper rest? I imagine you're fatigued lately. My stomach was in a knot. I didn't want to leave Ashley. No, it's fine. I'll come with you. Feel kind of restless anyways. Walking around could help. Okay, but don't push yourself, alright? I nodded slowly. If you folks are going to explore, would you mind seeing me off to my living quarters? Missy and Ashley obliged and we all left the dining hall together. In the foyer, we all saw Forte off as he retired for the night to his personal room. Entering the elevator again, we traveled to the third floor that had recently opened up. After a low rumbling, the elevator stopped, revealing the new area. A digital noise was just outside the elevator, displaying a map of the ground as we approached. Third floor landing hall was towards a single main hall that split into 4 rooms to each side. Alright, so this is our elevator. This is probably going down, so this is probably where we are. There's more living quarters on this side and on this side. And in the house, we have a smokehouse lounge, a casino. Let's go gambling. Garage and an art gallery. 4 new activities meant to us available. On the left, there's a smoking lounge connected to a casino, and on the right, there's an art gallery connected to a garage. But of course, it will be closed from us from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. However, Missy's voice trailed off. I followed her gaze similarly in the hallway surrounding the permanent activity rooms. Familiar doors dotted in the hallway. An unknown school emblem decorated on the door, but Missy's eyes were transferred on one. That's... And Ashley herself was looking at a similar emblem on it that I've seen on the race car helmet earlier. Huh? There was another full set of personal rooms on the 3rd floor. Missy and Ashley looked at each other with astonishment. They swiftly ran to their respective doors, but they couldn't do anything. So you met the rest of your class? Oh. No. His flat, model voice sent a chill up my spine. 2 of them swung around to see Cyrus in a dark corner of the hallway. Cyrus continued, disregarding Missy and Ashley's grim faces. It's too late. Sylvia and Darling, they're out of the picture. Ashley and Missy reacted to their respective names. I remember Ashley telling me about Sylvia, but the other one unknown was in relation to Missy. The atmosphere was suddenly heavy. Paralyzing glares sent every which way. Why do you know this? What exactly do you plan on doing with these threats? Shrugged indefinitely, unconsciously with the answer to the questions he tossed away. Cyrus, who are you? I'm the Preservation Project informant. I was chosen to handpick the class that appears for the game. His leaning eyes let a pierced glare between us, but at Capines, they're different. I was embalmed at the sudden mention of my name. I didn't even know if I was breathing. 3 stood at stalemate, a playable dread radiation from the deadlock eyes. Please, stop your facade. Facade? You all heard here on the trial. Cyrus, you know, before wasn't the real me. You blew my cover, so I'm here in the full dorm. Cyrus let his threats linger. The astonishing potential for disaster amassed a lead weight at the bottom of my stomach. Missy and Ashley closed on either side to me, bracing themselves against a possible mechanism. But he just sulked away, Cyrus husky, low laughing, meddling into the darkness. I was dizzy with fear, but Missy's firm voice kept me grounded. Hurry, let's return to the living quarters. She grabbed my hand, leading me through the dark hallway to the elevator that was some ways behind us. We hustled into the elevator and rode back to the main foyer. Back in the foyer, soft light from the chandeliers glared steadily, lighting the main hall. There we crossed paths with Cannon, who was isolated in the foyer once again. Cannon? Ashley's voice whispered that didn't seem to reach Cannon's ears. We all slowly approached her and saw a cold expression, but her face gave a different demeanor somehow. Rather than that icy gaze, we were met with a stony, soulless stare. Cannon, are you alright? Saw her come by, to her eyes softening as she turned towards us. She mumbled a quite affectionate. Her cold exterior melted into a brief moment of vulnerability. Then my curiosity got the better, and I capitalized on the bitterly of the silence. Cannon, I have to know. Why did you run away when I collapsed from the electrocution? It's only natural to feel fear when someone gets hurt. Huh? I was frightened. It's odd. I wanted to leave this mansion as soon as I woke up. Something stopped me. She gripped the instant camera she had hung on a shot rapture. When I woke up in my personal room with the camera in my possession, I couldn't help but feel unveered. So I stood in the floor wanting to leave, but felt unable due to his mysterious bad feeling. As it turns out, that feeling's right. After I saw you scream, collapse, my suspicions were confirmed. But I didn't know what to do. I waited for anyone to come by and see if they could handle it. Forte. You know what happened from there. I left someone else to help you because I didn't want to deal with that event. Though her face was no less illegible than before, her voice was shaking. She was scared, if not more than I was. She desperately wanted to protect herself from being the one who could point over the culprit as long as possible, knowing she couldn't delay the inevitable revelation. Cannon sighed heavily. Excuse me, I'm going to bed. Cannon briskly walked towards the living quarters. Missy and Ashley gave Cannon a soft goodnight, each as she retired for the night. With nothing left to do in the dark of the night, we fell to our individual rooms. Ashley stopped me from a moment in the living quarters halls. Echo, let's take care of each other, yeah? Of course. It doesn't need saying. Ashley mumbled something, but cut herself off. Instantly, she just gave me a hug. Closed my eyes and allowed myself to be swallowed in the comfort of her embrace. Good night, Echo. Good night, Ash. Entering my personal room, I felt more alienated? This personal room. The comfort and luxury must have been fabricated, creating a false sense of comfort. Behind the scene of that comfort, a facade of terror malice was hiding, a killing game with no remorse for the participants. Shook the nerves out and collapsed on the bed. I want to go to bed for a long, long, long time. Exhaustion came over me, and another day would come to pass. As nighttime arises, a new day begins. Day 4. Chapter 2. Every fire is a lesson learned. Knock, knock. Who's there? I opened my eyes at the sound of knocking. Pardon me, but good morning. It's Missy Viper, outside for Echo. I looked at the time, 7:29. Good morning, Missy. I'll be right out. Take your time. I stopped the alarm before it rang and made myself presentable. I was assuming it was Missy. That's why I was doing Missy's voice, by the way. Okay, well, I figured out how to open the safe. Stepped out of my personal room to greet Missy. I noticed she was clenching a small item in the claw. Just right-click. That's how I open tape. Before I could ask about it, she started through the halls and followed alongside her. What's going on? Gathering students for a personal announcement. I'll elaborate when we arrive in the foyer. She raised a small item indicating it was the subject of her meeting. You're the last student I approached. Those who won't be present did not answer when I knocked, however. When I approached Say, she replied through the door that she wasn't going to move at all. She said that if she was going to die, it would happen regardless of what she did. What? It was a shocking, fascinating thing to say, but I wasn't going to force her out. That girl, Say, worries me. Do you think she'll do something dangerous? I'm sorry. I meant that I was worried for her well-being. I don't wish for her to demand in any case that she would take offense the wrong way, but Missy sighed. She seemed really upset that she couldn't do anything to help Say. I'm sure Say appreciated the settlement. What just can we do, right? I apologize, you are absolutely correct. Missy's expression eased as we finally arrived in the main foyer. In the foyer, I saw a small group of students Missy gathered. The group was composed of Forte, Cannon, Ashley, Missy, and myself. So Lyle, Cyrus, and Say couldn't make it. I'm not surprised Cyrus is absent given his behavior last night. And Lyle should be a person of concern as well, since he was so distraught from the conclusion we came to discovering Art was the culprit behind Pandora's death. Art just wanted to protect us. Not his fault Pandora had an incredibly suspicious note. I don't imagine seeing her with the note helped, well, with his head being full of distress. That note felt really damning. I never could have thought she was so passionate of such oddity. But despite that, I feel like she could have gotten intentions behind it. She specifically pulled me aside the night before, asking if I knew anything about the continents. That does not look like something a mole would do, right? We pondered the source of the note before we could presume much about with the strange itemness in our hands. Our motion was already off to a rocky start. Ah, that brings me to why I have gathered you all. Missy had the floor taking piece of seeing the elevator and the car piece, while the rest of us encircled on the opposite side. Please do not be alarmed when I show you this. She placed a small cloth wrapped item she had been carrying on the wooden table. It was a revolver with a note. Missy, what is the meaning of this? I told Echo before that I rally the rest of you as well. I had planned to contribute my skills to preservation project prior to the event of arriving here. However, upon arrival in personal room, I found this revolver, read to the note tied of it. Cannon looked carefully, read from afar. As a student with an interest in working with the preservation project, one must attempt their hand in a single round of reverse Russian roulette. We believe the ultimate student should be destined to change the lives in the world, while surpassing the incredible game of chance no matter what odds. Reverse Russian roulette. A game of utterable chance. 5 out of 6 chambers in the gun got occupied with the bullet. The players spin the chamber, locked in the chamber and place the gun barrels against their own head. Pull the trigger and hope to survive. Without the knowledge of whether or not a bullet will be fired, your life is in the hands of fate. Huh? That's absurd. What are we gonna do? Possibly someone surviving it. The odds are too high for us to take a chance on. One would have been literally a whole fortune. You didn't play, right? Who dared risk such a gamble if they did not care they would survive? Missy struck Lynch. Did she not play the round? That said, I showed my hands before my belief. I sincerely want to trust you all, so I hope you can trust me after I reveal this wretched thing. I wish for you all to believe that no danger is good for me, as I have no intention to harm any of you. She carefully folded the cloth back over the revolver. Have any of you heard of the concept of the Stockdale paradox? I can't say that I have. I'll explain. It's a philosophy of Debiel, named after Vice President Kanye, the Stocks paradox concept in which one must never lose faith that they will prevail in the end, while still confronting the cruel facts of reality. It's a Pandora box of the self as an individual happen to balance the horrors of reality with the optimism of success to truly be able to overcome the worst situation. The mindset of the ultimate two sides in paramount is achieving goals. One mustn't get so hopeful that they ignore the grave of their surroundings. In our case, we must balance the hope that we escape the clutches of this place against the despair of ultimate death within the walls. The 4 of us were petrified. Hope, despair was hard to process. Thank you for placing trust in us, Missy. We will not let you down. Cannon remained silent, but nodded in agreement of Forte's statement. Thanks, Missy. You're risking a lot, but if none of us plan to kill them, there's nothing really we should be worried about. Of course, there's nothing to worry about. We're all reasonable people, but fear is a powerful tool. By showing you this item, I'm telling my attention I hope to dispel any fear among us. I see. Thank you for cooperating and understanding. I couldn't believe how bold Missy was being. She could have easily left the gun in her room, out of sight, essentially out of the realm of existence, where no one could cause harm with it. But she was venturing with high hopes that the group had no ill will. Everyone agreed. No one would dare fire the gun. Even so, in a game of killing, a weapon presented itself seemingly out of nowhere. Strange so, it seemed that every one of the students were left some sort of item in their rooms upon waking up. First, Cannon remarked upon her camera. Then Ashley having Sylvia's racing helmet. And Missy finally having a revolver. But I also recall Forte saying that he's seemingly out of the place from the mansion. When he took care of me after I shocked, he had... a mask? There were masks in theater, but not in his personal room. Sheet music. That's right. He was leafing through some sheet music. I wonder, what is the meaning of this? As I pondered the strange chant, the sound glassing filled the room. Our group glanced at each other for a moment before running off the source of the sound. Through the dining hall into the kitchen, the sound persisted louder and louder. There was Lyle in the kitchen in front itself, and the stray of broken glass and battered metal littered all the floor. Lyle crushed a metal pipe, aiming for the oven. Lyle, what on earth are you doing? Have you lost your mind? What does it look like I'm doing? I'm testing the rules. The rules state of no damage to major access, yet here I am breaking everything. And so far, nothing's happened. Don't you understand? The rules aren't enforced. Art wouldn't have to kill Pandora. He wouldn't have to die by her vote. In the circumstances of a game, rules are placed to create reservation, and yet there's no air rule or custom or mastermind here to punish us for breaking the rules. Oops. So why shouldn't we be following the rules in the first place? We thought our lives were threatened since we were trapped by that electrocuting door. Did that even actually happen? What do you mean, of course that happened? Why would I lie about something like that? You were the only one who was afflicted by it. For all I know, Echo, you're the mastermind behind this. What? Your collapsing Forte and his good-natured heart. I came running to your aid. That collapsing could have been entirely fake. Because of that, we were simply trapped by our own tears. Be that as it may, the fact remains that the door was armed and currently barricaded. That can't be the reason for that. Despite Forte's observation, Lyle ignored him. He was completely absorbed in his thought. Art didn't have to die. He didn't have to die. He didn't have to die. He muttered them to himself as he gripped tighter on the pipe. Lyle's eyes gleaming with intent. Those arranged eyes locked into mine as he dropped the pipe, the metal clutching glass and a breeze of dust. I'm not gonna die. Not after him. Lyle's got some emotion to him. With impeccable timing, an announcement rang through the halls. It is now 9 p.m. and welcome to day 4 of 7. We're already halfway through. How exciting. However, there are too many people live, and right now, we need to fix that. Today's force motive question is, do you believe your talent could be benefit of all humanity? Yes, as an ultimate student at the top of your field, we expect you to contribute yourself to respectful talents as the whole world as a whole. Pondering this question, we set up our next little motive for you all. Coming soon to ultimate students everywhere. Wah ha ha. I listened to the announcement best I could, but the rest of the group paid no attention. Instead, they were trying to call Lyle after his spiel. Lyle, what do you believe me? But we should put it past our heads together and come up with a plan, instead of wrecking everything. No, you're the only one in the way. Lyle's aggressiveness pushed his way through us, leaving the diner hall in the foyer with Missy Anthony Chase. Lyle, I alone will piece together the secrets of this awful killing game. If I'm not the ultimate puzzle master, Cyrus was right. If I don't act now, nothing will get done. You spoke to Cyrus. I ran into him this morning in the kitchen. He doesn't concern me in the slightest. With Cyrus now behaving now, there's no telling what will happen next. You really ought to be careful around him. Lyle ignored Missy's plea and marched over to the elevator, slamming the buttons. Turned around and felt his fist with crumpled paper in it. I swear if I find the other person who knows about the secret night, well, That's the only clue left. Art left me, and damn it, I will do whatever it takes to get to the bottom of this. Lyle gave the last participating glare before entering the elevator. Click. The elevator's door closed, leaving the rest of us in a state of bewilderness. With Lyle on edge, now and talk with Cyrus sounds like a recipe for disaster. What do you suppose he's got going to try now? I can only imagine Lyle. He'd be something to the third floor and scour the area for the other students. It's a new location that needs to be turned over after all. Forte and Missy sighed in unison. Let's hope he doesn't do anything reckless. But just as Forte say that, I heard footsteps at the top of the ear. Cyrus? Cyrus replied, nonchalant manner, but his face was different. In the day of light, Cyrus expected was twisted into something discouraging. Missy and Cyrus exchanged field looks one more, only this time the two were completely emotions were catalyzed. Before we react, Missy moved swiftly, pursued Cyrus at the top of the stairs. Missy, wait, what are you doing? Ashley went to chase after her, but Missy's firm voice stopped Ashley in her tracks. Don't worry, I'm confident nothing will happen. I'd like a word with this informant. She announced her vague plan as she arrived at the top stairs, forcefully grabbed Cyrus' arms. Cyrus didn't say a word, rather, he made a disgusting face as Missy pushed him to the jazz club, slammed the door shut, and silence befell the group. Should we be concerned? Missy has a plan. I have faith she will carry out the execution with the least casualties. Yeah, Miss Ultimate Technician probably has some cards up her sleeve. Let's just leave her be. Cannon made a rather side remark that she said it presumed everyone confidently that Missy had a plan, seeing as no one would pursue her. I hate it in here. Why do we have to carry out the investigation ourselves? Investigation of what? The mansion. Still haven't found a way out of this place. I agree. The third floor opening up to us last night, so this could be an opportunity for escape. Cannon, would you like to join me? Missy presumably traveling in pairs to protect us as if I may. Sure. Stern reflection, Cannon begged on the foyer stairs. Excuse us. Forte followed in his suit, which left me and Ashley in the foyer. We would check out the third floor again now that the keys are open, and hopefully we find those other students. Her voice was low. Ashley was pale with worry. Signs of her friend Sylvia being her as well. The helmet in her personal room on the floor. The fact that we hadn't run into anyone for 3 days would cause concern. I didn't want to say anything, though. Ash, I'm sure we'll find Sylvia and the others. Ashley's eyes softened. Thanks, Echo. She gave me a smile once more before standing towards the stairs. Began to follow, but something was tugging at me. Hey, Ash. Should we? Take the gun. Ashley hesitated. I think we should trust Missy. We should trust everyone. It's ridiculous, though. I mean, trust? Such a loftiness, comparable concept. Who can say whether or not someone will uphold it? Echo, are you saying you won't? Of course not, it's just... Then that's that. Huh? Missy wants us to believe in us. And I'm guessing from our observant behavior during the trial lab, she has no reason to believe any of us are Mashless. In fact, the only person she thinks is dangerous is Cyrus, and she's dealing with him personally. She placed her trust in us. Now we have to trust her. It's a give or take. I see. Trust. Ponder the concept after we made our way towards the third floor. Upon arriving to the third floor, Ashley and I saw Cannon Forte entering the garage. Ashley herself revisited the door with Sylvia's symbol emblem and tugged the doorknob. Locked. Figures. Alright. I'm tired and it's been a bit, so... We're gonna end the episode here. Thank you all for watching. We just had that whole crazy event. Next time, I'll probably play until we at least find the dead body. But I'm assuming we're about to get some choices and then more stories. So for that, I'm ending this here. Peace.